We now know that 5 states, 5, had forged documents that went to both the National Archives and, of course, to the leaders of those states, claiming that, hey, Donald Trump actually won this state, even though he didn't. So we're going to send alternate electors to Congress January 6, 2021, so they can give Donald Trump our electoral votes. Now, we know for a fact the situation in Arizona, the situation in Michigan. Arizona specifically, they used official letterhead. So that was genuinely a forged document meant to look like an official document. Very clear fraud in that case. Arizona's looking into it. Michigan, after initially doing absolutely nothing for a year, once the story broke, Attorney General Dana Nessel finally said, we're totally going to investigate this now that everybody knows we ignored it for a year. So Michigan's looking into it. But more and more stories are starting to come out. Again, there's also 3 other states. 2 of them, however, are basically a wash because they said, we're sending these alternate electors, assuming Donald Trump's legal challenges are successful. If they are not, we will withdraw these electors. So those 2 really don't count. But in the other 3 states, what happened was that you had real Republican officials, people in elected positions or people in positions of power within the state parties that signed off on these documents. And now, according to a new report from Politico, many of them actually told Politico reporter Kyle Cheney that, yeah, we know doing this, and they told him this back in 2020, we know if we do this, it's probably illegal, right? We know this is not something we're allowed to do, but we're going to do it anyway because why the hell not, right? Of course, they didn't use those words. That's essentially the mentality that I'm describing, although they did admit we know this is probably not legal. So we have these communications that they sent to this journalist, Kyle Cheney at Politico, saying, we know we're probably legally not allowed to do this. And then they did it anyway. I understand due process, okay? Trust me, I totally get it. You got to have the investigation. You got to have all of the evidence come out. You got to make your case, and then you can go ahead and issue your indictments, make your arrests. We pretty much have the smoking guns at this point. We have the documents. We have the people who signed them. And now for some of them, we actually have text messages where they're admitting, I know, or communications, sorry, not necessarily text messages, but they're saying, I know what I'm about to do is illegal and I'm doing it anyway. That sounds like an admission of guilt. And once you have something like that, where somebody clearly says, I'm going to do an illegal thing, you can actually go ahead and make an arrest at that point. You actually can, if you know for a fact that the crime ended up being committed, which was submitting these falsified documents to the government in an attempt to overthrow a presidential election. Like, I'm not kidding. These people should be arrested today. But of course, they want to do it the proper way. And I guess you can't really fault them for that. But in the coming weeks, and yes, I say weeks, not months, because this shouldn't take that long. Again, all the evidence is right there. Like, this investigation should really take place one night over pizza in the DA's office. Just looking at everything and saying, oh yeah, we got it. Okay, cool. We'll make the arrest tomorrow morning. Y'all go home early today. I want to see these arrests within the coming weeks. And I think once we hit the prosecution part, thanks to this new information revealed by Politico, I think these prosecutions are going to be a slam dunk. I don't think it's going to take a long time, but I want to see every single individual that submitted these documents, that signed these documents, that sent messages to Politico. I want to see each and every one of them behind bars when all of this is over.